Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast, episode number 158. I'm Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And every single podcast, every single week we bring the week's best geek and tech news. We discuss that news and of course anything else we happen to be interested in that week. And this week we're talking about some great stuff. Before we get into it, we're going to give a quick shout out to some new Patreon supporters. We've forgotten to mention them on this particular podcast the last couple of weeks. We've had several come in, including Conan Wayne and McCain, Brad Thomas, Camilla Richards, and Mark Carlson, who are all recent Patreon supporters who are helping to keep this podcast free of ads and free to the public. Because honestly, I don't think you guys will listen if we ask you to pay for it. So it's free for you guys. But those guys are really good supporters. We're not one podcast, but two podcasts. So thank you all from the bottom of our hearts.
I love you.
See, there you go.
Isn't Conan the one that said he had an awesome name?
Oh, yeah, maybe we did talk about that.
Yeah, but either way, those are awesome.
Either way, multiple thank yous.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I still love you.
Yeah, I did a chat with Conan, and or was it the other Conan? Maybe it was a different guy. But anyways, plenty of people do the great work supporting the podcast. If you want to support us, you can also look us up at patreon.com/geekbytespodcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, but in geek news, we have some great stories as well this week, including...
Let's talk about it. Avengers, Rambo 5, Deadpool 2, a few fun videos, and a movie trailer showdown, and much more.
Yeah, not a lot more, though. It's kind of a short week.
A lot, no.
But we're just going to be talking
fill in
about
that gap.
Yeah, we're going to fill in those gaps the best that we can, depending on our sizes. But we're going to move on to geek news. And we're going to begin our first geek news article thing with the Avengers.
Little movie that came out?
a little movie, little indie film. You might have heard of it. If you're not, you should go support your indie.
I think it went at Sundance. It got bought or
indie
got picked up by somebody.
Yeah. Marvel Studios has made history with the Avengers Infinity Wars. Not only did they break global box office their opening weekend, but it's now the fastest movie to cross the $1 billion mark at the box office worldwide. They accomplished it in only 11 days. That record was previously held by Star Wars: The Force Awakens, which surpassed the $1 billion mark in 12 days. So they beat it by a whole day. So there you go.
And a couple billion. It was kind of cool. There's been a lot of kind of way to go Marvel, way to go Avengers kind of thing. There was this one little promo. I don't know if it was a meme thing or whatever, where it showed the Jedi passing the torch to
Disney's just we don't care who's making us money. We're
it's all Disney.
Billions of dollars. Yeah, it's all Disney bucks, so they're all happy.
They got my money.
Yeah, they don't care.
So you saw it?
No, I think you saw it before I did. I saw it, I think, last weekend.
I had to.
Very entertaining. I think you abandoned your wife and your child.
I abandoned everybody.
See you later.
I literally saw it by myself. Thankfully, where I live, it's not that too crowded or anything, so I didn't.
It's not that early in the morning, but yeah.
Oh, I thought
you basically came off after work and I'm just gonna go watch this thing.
Yeah, because I didn't want to do the first screening at 7 or 12 the night prior kind of deal. But I saw it. I loved it. Did you?
It was very entertaining. I had a good time with it, and that's what matters. I mean, it was entertaining. There were plot holes, obviously, but it's okay. It's mostly just about here's your favorite superheroes hanging out together. And
all right. Out of courtesy, really, for the people listening and watching and whatnot, spoilers or no spoilers?
I don't know that anybody's watching this live. There are a few people who do watch us on YouTube, though. I'm surprised at how many people still watch us on a weekly basis. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 to 60 people. So we actually have a larger crowd on Facebook or on YouTube, I should say. So we won't spoil it for you guys, but it was very entertaining. And maybe in the next couple of weeks after the buzz dies down a little bit, we'll talk a little more about the little plot holes we saw.
My only question on that picture alone: what happened to the star?
Oh, they painted it over.
Really?
Yeah, they painted it over.
It looked like it. They just ripped it off of his...
He gave up the Captain America shield.
Exactly.
So he's not really Captain America. He's Steve Rogers.
Nomad.
I think he has, they gave him a different title name. Yeah. So there you go.
Have you seen him in the comic version, the Nomad costume?
I don't think I have I think I remember it seeing it's purple and yellow or something.
It's out there.
It's some weird color.
I would love to see Chris Evans rock it.
He'll come back, I guess, at some point. Although I think he said after the Avengers 4 that's his last film that he's in officially in the Marvel universe, unless he wants to come back as as the Human Torch at some point.
Yeah,
you never know.
Exactly.
Okay, in other movie news, we have there's apparently going to be a Rambo 5 coming out at some point. So It's going to be Rambo.
Is he in his 70s?
He's pretty old, and we all kind of thought the last Rambo was going to be the last one. But apparently, according to Deadline Hollywood, that the film is slated to start shooting in September of this year. The plotline is going to be that Rambo struggles when a daughter of one of his friends is kidnapped. He's working on a ranch and he has to cross into the U.S.-Mexican border and face one of the toughest forces in Mexico's violent, vicious cartels. So he's going to go kill some drug cartels.
7-year-old man going to Mexico.
Yeah.
You think he'd be going for the cheap pharmaceuticals, dentistry, all that kind of stuff.
He's like, hey, while I'm here, I'm going to get me some good pills.
Right, that's all boner pills.
Yes, that is my best
dental
Rambo.
work. Hey, yo.
Yeah, his is better.
Yeah.
But that's the plotline. So do you think this is a stuff that should not be?
The thing is, he's 70. How is his hair not white?
Well, I'm
not
white.
even nowhere there.
No. I'm sure his hair looks more like your beard in real life. It's a good dye job. But he's still in shape.
But he looks
better than both of us.
Oh, yeah. 70?
He looks better than both of us put together.
He has the abs, the guns. He has it all going. I'm just surprised that he's still coming up. If this movie becomes a hit, how long do you give, especially
I
since
don't think it'll be. I mean, the last Rambo was like moderately well received. I don't think this is going to be a good one. I think it's just, we made some money. Sylvester needs something to do.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
This can be a write-off if it tanks for the company.
That's what I'm saying, because especially at this road, he's obviously taking on the Mexican cartel. Next thing you know, he's going to be taking on the Yakuza, then eventually the Mafia. Then he's just taking out every crime syndicate in the world.
Yeah, Rambo versus the world. Yeah. That is a way to go. If it makes money, great. I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guess who the one viewer is currently. We have one live viewer watching us on Facebook, and I'm going to go with it's Edgar's wife, Amy, since she's the last one hanging out here. It could be someone else.
Hey,
feel free to
any support
to type into the notes in the chat room and say, hey, everybody. Well, more than happy to read your comments or take your questions.
Yeah, might be a little bit delayed, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, it's a slight delay. Next story, though, is Deadpool. Deadpool 2 is getting a lot of great buzz. This one's coming out this month, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yes, we'll say yes. As is the Han Solo film, if I'm not mistaken.
That one, yes.
Yeah, so I think they're both coming. I think Deadpool's coming out a couple weeks before that one. So all kinds of good buzz. You got the last few trailers. We've got some nice stuff here. This particular news article is in regards to no Deadpool 3 potentially. Ryan Reynolds says that at this point, he's not sure if there is going to be a Deadpool 3, even though Deadpool 2 hasn't come out. But it's not all because of bad box office releases. The numbers are already looking pretty good. His was more along the lines of being creative. In a statement to EW, he says, I don't know that there would be a Deadpool 2. I don't. I feel like the character, in order for him to function properly within his own universe, you need to take everything away from him. I don't think that you can keep doing that. I do see him as being a part of the X-Force, obviously. I would love to see him do a team-up sort of thing, like a mono or a great female character from the X-Men universe. I just think if you're going to do another Deadpool solo film, you've got to really get that budget down to nothing and just swing for the fences and break all kinds of weird barriers and do stuff that no one else can do. Which is sort of what made Deadpool 1 a kind of a nice film, that they had a limited budget. They had to be creative with the storyline and the special effects and all the different things they were doing there. And I think that's kind of what he sees this series returning to if they're going to do a Deadpool 3, which he doesn't think they're going to do. Because, of course, they just want to throw money at it and make more money.
It's a cash cow, dude. I don't see how they're not going to do it, but, I understand about the creative aspects of it. The promotional stuff they're doing for it is amazing. There's Mike's Hard Lemonade with Deadpool on it. It's weird to see
yeah.
It's
there's also that Celine Dion music video with Deadpool in the background.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make the money. It's gonna make the money. Now, why would they want to give up on that money?
Yeah, they're definitely spending a ton of money advertising this time.
Yeah.
The first time around, I think they had one trailer and a few TV spots and a banner on Hollywood Boulevard, one of those building banners, and that was kind of it. Everything else was very meta, of a little more grassroots guerrilla campaigning stuff. And I was right. Our live viewer is indeed Amy Acosta. She says hello from the past.
Very much. Well, think about it this way: everything, when you ever take a picture of the future.
When you're. Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking, we can probably sketch it out, and then technically that's you looking into the future. The last live broadcast I did as the Mejia author thing.
Yeah.
There was a 2.5 minute delay. It was like it got pretty severe, and I think mostly because I was running it through OBS like I am now. But there were like a lot more people on like the live stream. Like there was something like I want to say like 20 people.
I thought it was just a lousy satellite feed or something.
It was like watching it live, and like the delay just got significantly bigger. So like when I would actually end of the stream, and then I would be typing in the answers to people's questions who were like so chatting and watching me do things like, yes, this is Ramon from the future typing in from the future. Are you watching me from the past?
Pretty much, I get that.
And that was the thing. Yeah. So like it's a weird thing. I think the next time if I do a stream like that again, it'll just be dressed through Facebook, so to be a little faster and just capture it on OBS. And these are technical things that nobody really cares about in the stream, so I apologize. So because I just realized. Yeah. Okay. Next story. We don't have a lot though.
I was going to say real fast with the Deadpool thing. Obviously, technically, it's a Disney property now.
Well, not yet. Disney and Fox will have to merge, and then it'll be a Disney property. That merger has not been approved by the federal government yet, so it's not technically is yet. Although there was an interesting story in that Disney made Deadpool remove a joke about Disney because of the merger potentiality of it. So like, okay, we'll just take this Disney joke out because we don't want to ruin this like $1 trillion merger.
It makes me want to know what the joke was.
I do too.
I really want to know what the joke was.
I think it was just in the script. And they're just like, we're just going to edit this out before we start filming.
Yeah, because the only Disney joke that they did, it was with the like little trailer where they had Deadpool dressed up as Woody from the Disney Pixar kind of thing.
That was like the
inside joke of the
animation, like moving the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we'll see. I really want to know the joke, though.
I hope it's one of the things on the bonus DVD or something.
Hopefully.
Okay, next story. This one's actually kind of fun. It is a British inventor, Colin Firth. He built a fully functioning suit of Hulkbuster armor. This thing is like a story and a half tall. It's kind of a DIY thing using just parts he could source from eBay, which kind of means the entire thing. Like, there's a lot of things on eBay you can source. It's not a small store. It stands at almost 11 feet tall, powered by hydraulic pumps, comes complete with a flamethrower, and power fists that punch. The armor is also strong enough to lift its inventor up off the ground. We're going to take a look at the video for it.
Just the picture alone, it looks like the first version, the Mach 1 Iron Man suit.
Sort of like how kind of jinky it looks.
Oh yeah, because like that's all that's missing is him wearing the big clunky.
Yeah, we definitely see the
thing.
dude.
But you've seen. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is huge.
It's pretty big, yeah.
But I've seen a better version. It was a cosplay one that actually won first prize maybe a year, 2 years ago at the New York Comic Con.
Yeah, but I don't think that was automated like this one is. Like it wasn't fully robotic. I think it was more the guy inside still moves everything.
Oh yeah, still.
But it definitely looked more. It looked more authentic. Like they weren't going for functionality. They were going for looks and mobility. But this one is actually fully functioning.
The joystick and console control thing is especially that middle one. It was like he's like supposed to go and be able to do things with that. Yeah,
and he's inside of the machine. So even though it is awkward, you see him moving the parts, moving the body.
Flow's okay, it's slow, but still, oh my god, it is totally a joystick controller.
Yeah. Like so, the other guy can use it outside.
He has to do the Hadouken thing, or even the every single.
And there's a flame.
There's a flame there. Let's see, fireball or just a stream.
Yeah. Well, fireballs don't really exist. Like as far as like throwing them, I think it's like light an actual ball. Like soak it in something and then toss it.
Really?
And there goes
a little hammer.
Yeah. Well, like the fist
hydraulic.
Pumps up. Yeah. So it's a little hammerhead, and I think that's actually pretty cool that the head pops up, so you can actually see them. I think this one's funny too, like where it's lifting him around. Yep. They tied him up on duct tape.
Oh my god! Yeah. Set its balance though, but still,
it's funny to hear him yell.
Like, it hurt. Might as well just giving him a wedgie. Yep. It's cool. Concept is cool. It looks more maneuverable compared to that one Transformer car that we saw last year.
It does actually. Yeah, it does. I think it moves faster. Although I don't know if this one actually walks.
Yeah.
But it is very fun looking. So I think that was kind of a neat little thing. And that's most of our stories. We have one more little fun story. This one was just so hilarious. I had to show it on the podcast. I think it's a video. I'll do the setup first because it's in Japanese. So I don't know if you want to hear the actual Japanese speaking.
It don't matter. I saw it. That's all I know.
Okay, so it's basically for the audience. It's a television show. They're basically pranking a bunch of guys who come into this restaurant, making them think that they're in a time loop. So like the in the video, we'll describe it to you. But like generally, like they'll do a bunch of stuff. All the lights in the whole room will go out. They'll go out and it'll be like total pitch black. And then when the lights come back on, it's like everything gets reset and the same events occur to the same person. And there's like 3 or 4 people in this like 17 long video. This one was the funniest to me because this dude is getting hit on by a chick at one point, and he kind of misses his shot. So it's funny to see like the rewind on that, at least to me.
Because, in real life, a guy always wants to know, like, man, I should have said something else if I had the opportunity. And he got that opportunity.
Yep. So here he is. The waitress comes in. He gives him a free drink of water. He orders oolong tea. Then she goes to another guy a little bit down farther on the booths. He asks for a boiled egg. She's like, no, I'm sorry. We're all sold out. And our Mark is watching them. He's like, oh, it's too bad that the eggs are boiled out. He's just kind of nodding along. And then, let's see what else happens. Oh, then the lights go out. So this is the first time they do it to him. And his reaction in the dark is to actually show the infrared, not the infrared,
black light. Or not black light, but yeah.
I forget what it's called. Like, where everything looks green, but it's like actually dark.
Yeah.
He's in there like he has his hands up defensively. Yeah, night vision, that's what it is. And you can see what they're doing to him. He doesn't know this, obviously.
Because it's pitch black.
But he's appearing like a big punk because he's absolutely scared. Like he has his hands up by his fist or fist up by his face like someone's going to hit him or something. And like nobody can see him though. Like he can't see anything. And so the staff comes in, they steal his water. Everything kind of resets in the dark. He comes out and then the lights come back on. And he's trying to play it off like he wasn't a scaredy cat, which is fine. People need their honor. But then the waitress comes back. She offers him another drink of water, takes his order again. And at this point, he's like a little suspicious. He's like, oh, wait, didn't I already order this?
Yeah.
And you think, okay, maybe it's just a thing. So, and we'll skip ahead a little bit in time just so we can get to good stuff. But he hears the other guy order the boiled egg again and her say, we're out again. Yeah. So at that point, he's like, I
just heard that.
That's interesting. Kind of look on his face. So, and then something new else happens. And this time, another customer comes in. And she sits down next to him, or in the booth across the little walkway from him, I should say. And she's kind of good looking. And this part should have probably tipped him off in that she decided to talk to him in the middle of a restaurant, asking, today I've been told my fortune teller that I'm going to finally meet my soulmate. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. He's like, my soulmate will have some conditions, though. He's like, yeah, okay. He will be in an old cafe. And he's like, oh, yeah, like we are now. He's like, how short hair? And he's like, oh, my hair's pretty short. He's like, he'll be in blue shirt and short pants. And he's like, oh, I see. He, of course, is wearing a white shirt and white pants. So he's like, yeah, I get that. And he thinks, like, is this about me, though? He's like, well, I'm pretty good. I guess you could call this a super, super light white shirt. Blue shirt, I should say, yeah. And so she goes on and gives him all the conditions. He's like, oh, he has to be born in November. And it's like that. There's some other things. My soulmate has 3 more conditions.
Remember that, and
what months were you born? In November, he'll be born in November.
We're trying to remember, trying to beat it ahead before it says it.
What about blood type? Which is a thing in Japan, apparently. He's like, oh, I'm type O. He's like, oh, my soulmate will also be type O.
Bread or rice.
Oh, you're a bread or rice man.
Yeah.
Which seems like a euphemism. Like, is he the size of a grain of rice or a loaf of bread? It could be something else. Yeah, but in this case, he chooses rice, I believe. And she's like, oh, darn it.
Yeah, my guy likes bread.
She said, my fortune teller said that he would be a bread guy.
Yeah.
And the look in this dude's face when she says that, he's like, oh, man, one off.
And there just happened to be a guy.
Yeah, he looks
down.
He looks totally desperate, like he does. He's like, oh, man, it's wrong. Like, I guess. This is the worst part. Like, the guy a little farther down, he's like, hold on a moment. He's like, I'm your red guy. I'm the red guy. Mm-hmm. And she's like, really? You're a red guy? He's like, yeah, the other conditions all matched. Mm-hmm. And again,
blue shirt.
Our Mark doesn't know that these guys are acting.
Oh yeah.
He's looking at them both and he's like, wait, I just had to answer that right. And then she gets up and she goes down the hallway and she sits next to the other dude and they start chatting up and he's like, Yeah. So he looks pretty sad, and then of course the reset happens. The lights go off, and then he talks to her again. It's like,
So now does he answer saying he's a bread guy?
honestly, I think he ruins it again. I actually haven't seen the rest of it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. And he's like, and then she goes through other questions. He's like, "Oh, I'm type O."
November
But
type O.
he kind of ruins it because he's answering her questions almost before she asks them.
Yeah. So let's see.
Her
Does he
last
go
question,
rice or does he go
her last
bread?
question: Are you a rice or a bread guy?
Let's see.
And remember, the first time he answered, "I'm a rice guy." So then he
got
lost
dumped.
out. But in
He got dumped.
this is the redo. Is he going to answer rice guy or bread guy?
Bread.
I would change my answer. I mean, who wouldn't? Oh, and he does it. He says I'm a bread guy. He said my soulmate is also a bread guy. He's like, yeah, is that so?
Really?
Yeah, I double down on that, man. You're a bread dude. From now on, the rest of your life, even if you liked rice before, you're now a bread guy. So there you go. And then the cameras come in. He's surprised. He's like, wait, she wasn't my soulmate? Aw, poor dude.
This was just for a show. Sucks for you to have,
Like I said, she was too
you
out
had
for you,
an
dude.
opportunity.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. There's one little Asian video that I saw, which is like, when I go on Facebook and whatever.
Yep.
Apparently, when you're traveling on a subway or something, and there's like the pole that you're standing.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
You
Like,
saw that?
like when people in Japan like touch hands, like grab hands, it means you want to have sex.
That you're gonna hook up or whatnot.
Yeah.
So there's this video where like the girl's kind of like avoiding the guy trying to get out to it or whatever. Or I think it might have. To me, it looked like two guy hands.
I think it was a guy and a girl though.
Yeah, but it was like
either
the
way
guy-
though.
it was like the girls avoiding.
catching other people's responses, like them watching their hands
The movement.
almost touch for line, and then actually touch.
Yeah. It was funny because, she's avoiding the guy. She's like, Then eventually, the last move, then she's like, whatever. Goes for it. And then, like, everyone's like, oh my God.
And
Because,
then, like the kid's response for the first, like, no, the kid was like, ew, gross.
Ew, gross,
And then she like turned away, and
Yeah.
a lot of the adults were just shocked.
Yeah, I love the reaction.
And then they turned away, like,
everybody.
oh, never mind, it's not my business.
Well, it's funny. Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
It's a cute little, like, funny video.
Yeah, it is. Okay, on to movie trailer showdowns. We got 3 trailers in. Only one's the winner. We'll start off with Robin Hood. This is another reboot of the Robin Hood franchise.
I thought the guy that's playing Robin Hood, I thought he was that one, what do you call it, Baby Driver guy. But
No,
apparently
he's from The Kingsman.
Yeah, I had to look it up to
starring
be sure.
Taron Egerton, Jimmy Fox, and some other guys I don't know. But Jimmy Fox is probably the biggest name here.
Yeah.
And the stylization of this particular Robin Hood does remind me of like a lot of the redones. It reminds me like of Assassin's Creed, like the way they show like the medieval times, but it's also like modern fighting technique. It's very balleretic, and that stylization is very much like of that movie Assassin's Creed, which didn't do great.
Yeah.
But his actual look, like the way he looks as he's dressed as the thief, actually reminds me of the game Thief.
Oh, yeah.
You've ever seen that video game? Yeah. He has the mask and the hood, and he's shooting a bow and a crossbow sometimes. But the story itself really does seem like it sucks. I mean, like, big time.
They obviously had a budget.
I haven't seen a single forest in this entire thing.
Exactly. Saw the budget, but I don't think it's going to do good.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It feels like it's trying to be like, oh, revolutionary, and but it also takes place in the city a lot, and he's a prince, and I'm like, okay, those are some definite choices there.
Yeah. It's too bad.
And it feels like they're also trying to play off of the other Robin Hood, not the Men in Tights one, but the one before that.
The Kevin Costner one?
Yeah, the Kevin Costner one. You have like, oh, it's your buddy's black.
My black guy friend.
Yeah, he's gonna help me like learn how to fight and be a warrior. There we go. That's where we're pulling from.
No, I'm sorry. That one's going to do bad.
So it's a choice. But the trailer itself looks very actiony. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
Next one is Red Dead Redemption trailer.
Video game, not a movie.
Which honestly, watching it's better than the Robin Hood.
It's better than Robin
Hood
for sure.
It is.
The quality on it, the whole thing takes place in like 1899.
Even though these are like cutscenes, and that's fine. It's still all done with an engine.
Still done well.
So it's not like it's cutting away and you see pretty stuff, and then when they go back to video game, it's just like 2D pictures. All the trailers here, all this is done in engine. So this is still the same stuff. You're going to see the same quality footage, which is more and more common because they're building this whole world engine where you get out these 3D products. Why not use them to make your trailer? It seems cheaper, and it is.
And it looks amazing. I've got a feeling that hopefully, if they were to make a part 3, because once again, the game does take place in 1899, so right before, more or less, during our time frame, if they would continue it, because obviously the closest thing
I think they'd head into gangsters, wouldn't they, like 1920s bootlegging gangsters, and it wouldn't be the same
Prohibition era kind of deal.
Well, it wouldn't be the same like Western feel anymore.
But I feel like in a way they would do it, it would kind of connect the Rockstar universe, if you will, because then it would be into the what was that one game? Something Noir, LA Noir.
That would be like 1940s and 50s.
Exactly. Then, of course, a little further down the line, then you start getting to the GTA franchises.
Yeah, so like, oh, you didn't know, but they're all in the same universe.
Just timeline, yeah. Because it's like the way they did with Assassin's Creed, but unless they go further back in time.
Well, I was thinking that was still like the same franchise, though.
Exactly.
I think you could probably do something like a little bit later on here where like everything's westernized, but like, oh, he's... there was a John Wayne film where it's like he's a retiring cowboy and he's just kind of old and he's basically dying, but he does one last job. And I think you could probably do that with this franchise as well.
True.
Like make the main character just like getting super old and hurt. Kind of like the way they do Kratos in God of War 4.
Oh, yeah.
And that's part of his arc. Like this is that last arc. And at the end of that game, he dies. Like saving somebody or being redemptive or something.
Now, have you played the other games like Red Dead Revolver or Red?
I don't think I have. I think I've seen them. But their graphics at the time weren't amazing. And I would play this one, though. I would definitely play this one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Next one, last one is going to be Marvel Studios' AntMan and the Wasp. This is their official trailer. This came out opening weekend for Avengers. And this is it. So we have Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd actually has a second trailer out right now for a different film he's doing. Just like he's a baseball player, but then he becomes a World War II spy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it kind of is... It's a good period piece, but because Paul Rudd is in it, you think it's going to be funnier. And it's not. It's a very serious tone. It's very actiony. I mean, no, actually, it's very like spy thrillery, and it just doesn't work for me with Paul Rudd as the main character because I just saw this Paul Rudd, and this Paul Rudd makes me laugh, and it makes me. This is the characters I've seen before of him.
Yeah, because that's the thing. When you see certain characters do dramatic roles or something serious, it's hard to take them serious.
It's hard to, unless I'm sure he does a really good job in there, but I see him as the comedy guy who does like some action stuff occasionally, but more as like, wisecracking kind of character.
Yeah.
He's getting, character pegged, if that's the right term. Might be something else that you do in Hollywood.
Typecast,
that's it. Character pegged is what you do to get the role that you want. That's a different thing.
Involves a casting couch.
Yeah, and pegging, so different thing.
Pegging.
Yes. But this is very entertaining. It's very fun. They talk a little more about Ghost and her abilities. Like she stole them from the company as far as like phasing through matter.
Yeah.
Although her abilities remind me of those guys from The Matrix Part 2.
The dreadlock guys.
Yeah, the dreadlock ghosts.
Yeah. It looks good. Supposedly they're gonna, a little bit of reading behind the storyline. They're trying to find the Wasp's mom / Kirk Douglas's dad. No, not dad. Wife.
Yeah.
His wife. The whole.
It's what's her name? Yeah, they already showed who that was, right?
I want to say it's not
Michelle Pfeiffer.
There you go. Thank you.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. So that whole thing, and of course talking about big. And isn't that the black guy supposed to be giant man?
No, they talk about him as Goliath.
Like Goliath. How big did you get? Like so
27 feet,
Exactly.
64 inches, 64 feet.
I was like, what?
This guy's
talking about their lengths,
measuring sizes. Yeah,
exactly.
And that was the joke.
Yeah.
So we got 3 trailers, man. Which one did you like the best?
The game for sure, because I want to play it, and of course everybody wants to know about AntMan and the Wasp to see what happens. It's more or less a continuation of the Marvel universe. So I want to know what.
I mean, it's supposed to take place, I think, when Avengers: Infinity War happens, because that's why he's not there in that entire movie.
Now, semi spoiler without giving out too much. Do you think it's going to hopefully have a continuation, or at least in the post credits from the post credits?
One of them is
Infinity
going to
War?
die? Like, one of them is just going to start disappearing?
Well, that or something, because. once again, a little bit of a spoiler thing, at least from seeing the set shots. I don't know if you saw anything. There's this thing where they're thinking that they might be going into a time travel theory, because it showed a couple set shots where they were wearing these little, like...
Yeah, that's my guess. I'm guessing that it's going to play into Captain Marvel, and she's going to be the time travel element. Or maybe like they'll go back in time and talk to her about it or whatever. And that's how they solve that. I don't know. Because maybe she has like Kree technology for time travel or something like that.
Something like, because remember the whole concept of not too much as well with Mr. Doctor Strange, went through options, saw an option.
No, okay, we saw that. We won't spoil it for you guys, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible. We'll have to wait until next year.
Exactly.
Which is when that movie comes out, Avengers 4, this time next year to watch it. And we'll have to wait and see. So there you go. But as far as the trailers go, I definitely go to Red Dead Redemption as well. So that's our winner for this week, folks. Out of Robin Hood, Red Dead Redemption 2, and AntMan and the Wasp, Red Dead Redemption actually wins because it's prettier and more interesting than the other two, which are not bad necessarily. It's just maybe Robin Hood, yes, that one's bad. But the other one is great. Okay. It was fine.
Real quick prediction, because this is how pretty much how Hollywood works.
Sure.
How much money do you think they spent on making that movie?
Which movie is that?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood? I'm going to say 130 at least.
Million to make that movie?
Yeah, 130 million.
Now, how much do you think it's going to make at the box office?
78.
Really?
Well, I mean, yeah. I think they'll make 30 opening weekend, 78 maybe worldwide over the first month, maybe.
Okay, just that's the thing. So that's the business part about the numbers game in the movie, because it's like any kind of
that's right, folks. Make your predictions here.
Oh yeah, because you spend like $1 million on a movie. Hopefully, it does amazing, and you got at least remake that your profit, if you will, off your product. That's all right.
That's right, folks.
But. That's the way how business goes, because especially you got to think about who you're paying, what you're paying, and all that, and depending on how much money it makes, why not make a sequel? But in this case, for Robin Hood, it doesn't look great.
No, it does not.
I wonder what Rotten Tomatoes says about it. Probably gave you like a 20% or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything that says how much it costs to make anywhere, because sometimes they'll do that.
Yeah, they'll be honest.
That only comes out in November 2018. Did they shift that at all in the trailer? Maybe.
No. But
no money.
Like nowadays, for a movie, depending on the level, and because obviously it has CG, it has stunt work, it has a lot of cast, extras, all that. So I'm gonna say pretty penny on that one. But I don't think it's gonna do well.
No,
nothing against it. With me, I like anybody to succeed.
We all want you to succeed. Movies just to have better scripts and new ideas, and that's probably better. But there you go. That's it for the show, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to start the podcast in any way, shape, or form, you can find out all the ways you do so at
geekbytespodcast.com/support.
There we go, folks. And for Geek Bytes Podcast, I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And remember, folks, to go geek out about something. Goodbye, everybody. And I turned off the music. The end.